She's so trainable.
Let's start over. Okay. Are you ready? Yeah. We're gonna go. We'll just go down there.
Okay.
So, you guys ready?
She's including you this time.
Okay. I am. We're learning.
I'm Annette.
Okay. Hold on. We're starting over. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, I'm Megan.
I'm Annette.
I'm Stephanie.
And we are
Barn Besties with Farm Fresh Advice. We are here at Annette's Country View Farm in Wisconsin, and we are going to learn all the things today about
Indoor arena.
woohoo.
Hold on. Before we go to the indoor arena,
Yeah.
I spotted something.
Oh my God, I love these.
I have never seen this in my life. Please explain.
Please explain.
So, we don't always need all the lights on.
Yes.
Like, for example, during the day. So, these, you can actually screw them down if you want, but it's just kind of an extra reminder to, not turn on more lights than what you need.
Do you know what I did at my farm? I'd use duct tape.
That's what I used to have.
Yeah, and it makes it sticky. And I'm like, whoa.
This is brilliant.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you get this? Just the hardware store? I've never seen anything like this.
A boarder actually got it for us.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure where she got it. But
Google all the things, Megan. I love this.
This is amazing. Great option. Don't use the duct tape. It gets super sticky.
Yeah, and what does sticky attract? Dust, dirt, grime.
All
Flies.
the things.
All flies. Yeah. Fly trap. This is great. But let's talk about like right here. You're utilizing space. I love this. So you've got everything labeled and you've got homes. You've got some tools here.
Yep.
Are these tools for in the barn, in the arena, or all the above?
These are for in the barn.
Okay.
And then we also have a utility room with some overflow.
Okay.
But
So
these are
you guys-
kind of just the main.
Encouragement to keep the barn clean.
Mhm.
And then how about above? And this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I've seen this in a few barns.
Yep, automatic garage door.
Yeah.
So we actually, when the staff leads horses in and out in winter, when we have to keep opening and closing, they have a opener that attaches to their, so they can just hit that.
I know some places will have like the
Open,
actual
close
button
stuff.
just
Yep,
right
that's
on the
what I
wall.
have. Yeah. And then how do you handle the door situation? Because I have a doorbell.
Okay.
And so they have to ring the doorbell and they have to wait until someone says open.
We just say you have to yell door.
Okay. And then it opens.
And just be cognizant where people are when you're going in.
And then what's the acclimation time for your horses? Are they great with the door or does it take a little while?
They're pretty good with it.
They're pretty good?
Yeah, I think we've only had one horse in all the years that was kind of like, what is that? Because they were, when it was going up and down, it seemed the horse was a little like, what is that? But
I've had a few that were super nervous. So like we have a whole process to initiate them to the arena door. Like we put them out on the center line and then I have someone who hits the door and then they're like, and then I walk them up to it. So
is this an insulated garage door?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So are all of the ones insulated?
All the doors are insulated.
We are in Wisconsin, people. It gets cold.
Insulate.
And especially you talked about how the barn is not heated, but you're able to use your automatic waters. We talked about that in a prior video. Make sure you go back, check out the video on their stalls. Pretty cool stuff in that video, right, Megan?
Very cool
But
stuff.
yeah, I mean, it's cold in Wisconsin.
It's very cold.
So, all right, let's go in.
All right.
Yeah. Are you ready, Denali? Show us all the things.
So the indoor is 80 by 180.
Oh, I love it.
We had new footing put in about a little less than 2 years ago.
Can you tell us about what you use for? First of all, what did you put? What's the base? What's under your footing?
Well, this is all filled basically from like I told you in an earlier video, from the pond, which is sand, and then we put down a 3 traffic bond, 3/4 inch, and then 3/8 traffic bond on top of that, and that was all compacted, and then 3 inches of sand.
So how hard did you compact it? We've talked to other farm owners, and depending on the discipline, their base is very different. But we were recently down at a farm in northern Illinois, also Hunter Jumper Barn, and she said, I can't pound a nail through it. Then I know it's ready for my footing. If I can pound a nail into it, we haven't compacted it enough. And we were like, wow, never thought of that.
Tip.
I love
that barn tip.
And that way the base never got mixed in with her footing. But we've also been at a barrel racing farm where they actually will dig up some of the base to put into the footing, and their footing is 8 inches thick because if you think about a barrel horse, they're running full bore and then they're turning. So as they turn, they need to push against something that's not going to give. So totally different experience. So it's very interesting to talk to farm owners about how they do this. So then what kind of sand do you have here on top of it?
It's not mason sand, it's
We call it torpedo.
torpedo sand.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And that's basically like, if you guys have ever been on beach sand is hard to walk on.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's brutal. It sucks you down and in. Obviously, with the horses, we don't want that. So, yeah, we call it torpedo sand where we're from too. So, and how deep do you fill? You said you just replaced this?
Yeah, it's about 3 inches.
Okay. Yeah. And how often? You said 80 by 180. How often do you find you need to replace your footing, or do you just add to your footing?
For many years we added,
Okay.
but then it just became apparent that it was time.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true for a lot of sand arenas. You can add for a number of years, but pretty soon you're realizing that it's just so broke down, it's time to strip and start over, right? Yeah, nice.
And then we add in the calcium magnesium too.
Yes.
Yeah, to control the dust.
Okay, so how many times do you do that? Do you once a year, twice a year?
Just whenever
more?
it seems to need it.
Okay. Okay. Megan, you do it how often?
Twice a year,
Okay.
spring and fall.
Yeah, and yours is almost the equivalent size. So
Yep.
okay.
How many bags do you use?
Oh, it depends.
At a time?
We usually order it by the pallet.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're more. I just put in 10 bags.
Okay.
Boom.
And
Yeah.
you do yours twice a year.
Twice a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, lead on.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
it's lined and it's insulated. I'd have to say this was probably the best thing we did, is making sure that this was, because this is Wisconsin and the climate is such that we can, our boarders can ride year round.
So how high is your ceiling?
Oh,
It's 18 feet.
18 feet. Okay, I mean, you got jumping horses. You need it up, but the higher you go, it's a little harder to keep it warm, right? But it's insulated.
There's 3 feet of insulation in the ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah, the walls are all insulated, so it stays really pretty nice in here. It actually feels like a heated barn.
That's fabulous.
But it's not, but it feels like it. And
Sure.
then in the summer, if we close the doors as it gets hotter, it actually feels like there's AC in here.
Yes.
So
Megan's is the same way. And I have to say, Megan doesn't open her doors unless she's moving something in and out. Like if they're coming into drag, the door's open, but as soon as the drag goes out, the door's shut.
And the reason why is my insulation, the birds can pick at it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
refuse to let a bird pick at it.
Yeah.
So the doors stay shut. I think if I had tin instead, because I love this, I would open my doors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I keep it closed.
Can we talk about the windows? I love them. Are they don't open? They're
they
just,
do not open.
they're just,
They do not open.
okay.
And the other thing is, if you look at the windows, you'll see those are all 2x8s on 24-inch center. This is not a pole barn. This is a built barn with a footing all the way around.
So is this steel with a concrete footing?
concrete footing all
This
the
is
way
just
around?
like
And
mine.
there's
Yep.
8 inches of insulation in the walls.
Wow. That's fantastic. And so smart because again, we're in Wisconsin and
Yeah,
it's cold.
Right. And why pay the heating?
Right.
Why pay for, try to heat a pole barn,
Right.
which is really pretty difficult
Yeah.
to do.
So if you keep it kind of closed up before the humidity comes, does it stay pretty decent?
It stays really nice.
That's
yeah, it
wonderful.
definitely feels like AC in here.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
And
Megan does the same thing. She
It's
doesn't have air
exactly
conditioning.
the same, and I think the lighting is the same as mine
Yeah.
as well.
Is this currently fluorescent?
Yes.
No, Megan, we had a
LED,
video on our
we
channel. Megan had to switch
Yeah, 'cause-
recently,
Yeah, when did I build the barn?
10 years
been
ago. I
10
think.
years.
10, 11.
And the lights started, I think it's the actual, what is the box called?
The ballast.
Thank you. The ballast actually went out. And so we replaced the lights once and then they all died again.
Mhm.
And so then we replaced all the ballast and then now it's phenomenal.
Well, and you switched to LED
Yep.
because,
Yeah.
in theory, you guys have all heard the LED story. They're supposed to last a lot longer.
Mhm.
And hopefully in theory, wet environment, they're better too. But yeah, this is great. Now I see you've got a little mirror over there.
Yep. And we have a
and-
mirror
and
over
little
there and a
bank
mirror on the
down
side.
here and another one here.
Mhm.
So that's really awesome. But can we go down and talk about, I love how you've got a section stored for your jumps.
Hold on, before we go
Oh,
to the court, let's just show how they have a whip holder. They also have a pinup board, and the button to open the door.
The mighty button.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I love
mighty
it.
button. Yeah, just to show how they hold their whips.
And we missed behind there, but if we say hello to the folks who are there, you've got a couple spots for some lunge lines as well. So nice. Yeah, I love this. And we talked in a prior video, this is into your tack room / lounge, which you're telling people don't use unless there's a reason.
Right.
But yeah, I love Megan. I love how she's got stuff for the jump poles.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's always a challenge with the jumps and the cavalettis and the poles, how to keep it looking organized and nice. So my husband built these brackets here for us to keep the poles on, and that's helped a lot.
It looks very organized to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming from the dressage background, so when I see poles and jumps, I'm like, but this looks really well maintained. If there's an area, there's a spot for it. I love it.
And accessible, and you've got your chairs, like you said, for clinics and shows and lessons and things. So yeah, this is great. We love this.
And they have a spot for the drag.
Yep. We have two UTVs. This one just stays in here.
And a nice looking mounting block. Right? Big. It doesn't look tippy. And you love it when you find a small one that's rather tippy. So
and how convenient. You can just drive in, drive out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys see this? This is awesome.
This is great. May I ask, this is brilliant. Do you see the size of this?
It's huge.
This is beautiful.
I think this might be the world's largest mounting block.
This is the guy who did it.
Yeah.
I think this is brilliant. I love it. Honestly, if you didn't have the UTV there, you could be getting on either side.
Yeah.
Because I love it. And I always hated the little ones that you got on them and you're like, because, the footing underneath them wasn't quite, and you're kind of going like this, going, oh, this is lovely.
Well, my friend broke her leg on one of those. So I try to avoid those little steppy ones. Obviously, at a horse show, I can't. If I bring mine, although mine is pretty big, we actually built our own. But my friend was getting on her horse on one of those small ones and just fell just right and broke her leg. So I don't recommend those at all.
No, I love this.
Yeah.
I would be very happy to have this in my arena. I really would, because it's very safe. So good job.
The other thing I wanted to mention is we have doors up there, and then we store a lot of stuff. So we open up those doors. We could come in here with the tractor, the skid loader, and we lift up we have a whole bunch of jumps and stuff upstairs.
That's brilliant.
And then we can take them up and take them down.
Are those like a standard door size that you go in and out of a house with?
3-foot door,
Okay. That's brilliant.
So you don't have to carry everything down, especially when we have a big show here. There's more jumps and all the flower boxes. I mean, it's like twice as much than
Sure, and it keeps them out of the way. Not only out of the way, but clean. Yeah, not getting, dirty or things lost, especially with things like flowers. They get so sun bleached so quickly, and it's a lot of money to buy a bunch of flowers for.
Just take all the totes, load them up in the skid loader, and put it straight up. Somebody goes up there and just grabs the totes.
That's fantastic. I love this. What do you think, Megan?
I love it.
Got any more questions?
I think we should peek at the drag.
I think we should too. Maybe another video.
You want to?
Yeah. Okay. We're going to do this in another video. Okay. So guys, make sure you hit the subscribe. Clearly we are doing a great series here at Country View. Next video is going to be talking about the UTV and the drag, and I think one other thing that I see out of the corner of my eye. So make sure, again, let us know if you got questions. We're going to see you down below in the comments. You were supposed to say that.
Oh, sorry.
Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.
One moment.
Bye.